What do dragons eat, anyway?
Whatever they want.
What's up, Game of Throners? It's your boy DJ11 here, back at you with another one, and there's just something that's been on my mind about the opening of Game of Thrones. Now, I know I already made a video about it, but some of the things that were on the bands of that astrolabe just have me thinking. I think we need to talk a little bit more about it. Now, I'm sure you've heard that the dragon must have 3 heads, and Rhaegar full-on believed this prophecy. That's why he had to have a 3rd child. And if you believe in R plus L equals J, that's how Jon Snow was born. Now, pretty much the only thing we know about dragons or dragon eggs is that Dany had 3 of them and hatched all 3. Does that mean when a dragon has a clutch of eggs, they lay them 3 at a time? And thanks to little T, we learn one of the reasons that'll keep a dragon from eating.
What about the dragons?
They are not eating. They haven't touched any food since Queen Daenerys left.
Dragons do not do well in captivity.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
Cheers, little T.
Finisseur, chef.
Akati dorve. Simvaf. What's the matter?
The dragons are barely eating.
Now, 18 goats and 11 sheep doesn't sound like dragons aren't eating to me, but if you are talking about 2 dragons, it might not be so much. Could it be that maybe only one of the dragons are eating? Now, we know one of the reasons that'll keep a dragon from eating is captivity, but there's nothing claustrophobic about being out in the great wide open. Dany just simply states,
They don't like the north.
"No, Dany, it's you that doesn't like the north. 18 goats and 11 sheep definitely sounds like at least one of those dragons is eating well." Also, did you notice when Jon and Dany came over the hill that Drogon was just kind of nosing the food around, but Rhaegal was actually chewing on it? Almost like Rhaegal was ready to eat more, but Drogon was just kind of playing with their food, not really interested. Now, just like last season, the bands on the astrolabe tell a story. It's up to us to tell what that story is. The bands on the astrolabe seem to be telling a story of all the major events that have happened throughout the series. I believe this one is the Night King blowing down the wall and all the whites coming through it. This band seems to depict the most memorable moment of all in the series, the Red Wedding. And that leaves a 3rd band which has seemed to spark some debate. Now, a lot of people think that those 3 dragons, the big dragon is just Dany, the mother of dragons, with her 3 baby dragons that she hatched. And that certainly falls in line with descripting a major event that happened in the series, but what if it was something else? Let's go back to a band real quick that I think is the easiest to depict. I'm pretty sure that this is the Red Wedding. I mean, that's Grey Wind hanging from the towers with no head, and that's his head over there being held by a flayed man. And notice what the pictures represent. That's not a Frey holding up Grey Wind, it's the Twin Towers, the Frey sigil. That's not Roose Bolton holding up Grey Wind's head. It's a flayed man. The lion represents the Lannisters, and the fish in its mouth represents the Tullys, Edmure Tully to be exact. So we see these are the symbols of the banners of these houses that they represent, not the actual people. So if that other dragon is supposed to be Dany and the mother of dragons, wouldn't the symbol being displayed be a 3-headed dragon, not just one? Also, look at the arc of the comet. It looks like it's starting to crash, almost like it's coming down and coming to an end. Is this the end of magic? Did the dragon eggs get hatched just in time? Maybe that's the 3rd big thing that happens. 3 more dragon eggs get birthed into the world.
What's the matter?
The dragons are barely eating.
I don't think it's the dragons are barely eating. I think it's a dragon that's barely eating because it's pregnant for the first time and not really realizing what's going on. Something tells me in the next episode or 2 that dragon's going to start eating double, and then we'll know. Theory confirmed. Dragon babies on the way. And I don't just think this scene was a callback to Ygritte and Jon in the caves. I think there was something more to it.
We could stay 1,000 years.
We'd be pretty old.
Your mother's dead. Before long I'll be dead. And you. And your brother. And your sister. And all of her children. All of us dead. All of us rotting in the ground. It's the family name that lives on. It's all that lives on. Not your personal glory, not your honor, but family.
We could stay 1,000 years.
There's nothing in the Planetos that lives longer than dragons, and long after Jon and Dany are long dead and gone, the dragons will live on. And what do we associate with dragons? The Targaryen name. So even though they're not around, their name will live on forever, 1,000 years and more. It's been said that there's going to be one more major mind-blowing event that's going to go down before this series is over. Could it be that a dragon is pregnant and going to lay a hatch of dragon eggs? Is that what this last band is trying to tell us? Will that be the last major event in Game of Thrones? I certainly think that's part of it. I think the other part is, it's not only one dragon that's pregnant.
Giggity giggity. Giggity goo.
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.